If you visited Baltimore's inner harbour during the warmer months, you may have wondered what the large schools of little silver fish are. They are the Atlantic Menhaden. They are a very common but also critically important species of fish that can be found all along the Atlantic coast from Canada to Florida. Here in Baltimore, the menhaden we see are not adults. The adult menhaden spend most of their time offshore or in estuaries closer to shore. For juvenile menhaden, however, the Chesapeake Bay is one of their most significant habitats, and they can be found all over the bay, including Baltimore. When fully grown, the menhaden will reach a length of about 15 inches. The juveniles we see in the harbour may only be a fraction of that. Menhaden are filter feeders. That means they feed by taking in water through their mouth, which then passes through tiny little structures made of bone or cartilage called gill rakers. As the water passes over the gill rakers, tiny microscopic organisms called plankton get caught, allowing the menhaden to ingest them. Thus the menhaden's gill rakers work sort of like baleen does for baleen whales. Filter feeding is what the menhaden can be observed doing here. Their food source may be too small to see with the naked eye, but it has drawn quite a crowd of fish. As you can see, this school of fish has swum into very shallow water in search of their plankton meal. Menhaden form large schools based on their size. These fish are actually bigger than most of the menhaden we see here in Baltimore. Don't worry, we were able to set the two unfortunate fish that swam into the bag free. The plankton here must be fantastic, because this is a lot of dang fish. I think we can safely say that this is a fish-feeding frenzy. I mean, this is almost an unreasonable amount of fish. Normally it's difficult to get close enough to the fish to film them. Now they are literally swimming into the camera. These fish begin their lives in the ocean, usually being born in the fall. After a couple months as larvae, they drift into estuaries like the Chesapeake Bay, where they will spend much of their youth. In the fall, most of the menhaden return to the ocean, with most of the population staying by the Carolinas or farther south for the winter. By the next May, however, huge numbers of juvenile menhaden will have returned to the bay to spend the warmer months. Menhaden reach adulthood around their second birthday and can live to be 10 to 12 years old. If it seems like there are an enormous number of these fish, there are. Menhaden are so plentiful that by volume they are close to or have been the single most harvested fish in the entire United States. However, menhaden are not typically caught so that people can eat them, at least not since the 1800s, when some people called them the American sardine. Their meat is considered very low quality. They are principally caught for two purposes. First, many menhaden are processed into fish oil, fish meal, or fish solubles. Second, menhaden are often caught to be used as bait. Some of the Chesapeake Bay's most significant seafood is caught using menhaden as bait, species like rockfish or blue crab. So even if people don't eat them, the menhaden still represent an important commercial fishery. In fact, the menhaden play a vital role in the ecosystem as a whole. They are an important food source for a large number of species. This has led some people to call them the most important fish in the sea. In fact, there is significant evidence to support this. Back in 2012, for the first time a limit was placed on the menhaden harvest in order to allow their population to recover. Afterwards, water quality improved, and the Atlantic coast saw an increase in wildlife, like whales and dolphins. It was considered a massive conservation success. The menhaden have a surprisingly large number of common names. In New England, it is called a pogie. In North Carolina, it is called a fatback. Around here it is sometimes called a moss bunker, or bunker for short. When they are young and small, like they often are in the inner harbour, they are called peanut bunker. Whatever you call them, these silvery little guys are integral to our local ecosystem. It's a good sign for Baltimore's inner harbour to see so many of them swimming in clear water.